In the Middle Ages, mothers sat awake in pitch-black rooms, paralyzed by the fear of an unseen night intruder. Folklore spoke of a nocturnal demon that slipped through windows to strangle infants. She was blamed for sudden miscarriages and the agonizing nightmares that tormented men in their sleep. Families fought this fear with physical wards. They placed silver amulets and protective incantations around cribs to shield the innocent from the dark. Medieval Jewish folklore revealed a shocking identity for this baby-killing entity. This was not a fallen angel, but Adam's apocryphal first wife, Lilith. The Middle Ages found its most persistent terror in the story of the world's very first woman. In the apocryphal version of the Genesis myth, the Garden of Eden had a different beginning. Lilith and Adam were created simultaneously. Because Lilith was molded from the exact same earth as Adam, she viewed herself as his absolute equal. The conflict began immediately. Adam demanded total submission and hierarchy, but Lilith refused to bow down or accept a subservient role. Rather than submit to the order of the garden, she walked away from the safety of paradise and disappeared into the unknown. This story of a woman asserting her equality eventually became a source of humanity's most terrifying demonic legend. Long before the biblical Genesis, the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia lived with these fears. They spoke of nameless female wind spirits, forces associated with the lethal and unpredictable dangers of the night. In the ancient world, there was no medical explanation for sudden infant death syndrome, miscarriages, or the paralysis of sleep. Desperate for control, the human mind fused these random tragedies into a single supernatural culprit. Before science could provide answers, society used the earliest versions of Lilith to give their most unexplainable grief a face. Over time, these formless Mesopotamian terrors were transformed, merging and shifting through later mystical traditions until they took on a single defiant shape. Writers and mystics grafted the identity of the ancient baby killer onto the story of the disobedient first wife. The merger was intentional. It combined the archetype of an independent woman with the horror of a child murderer. This evolution turned the myth into a societal warning against female autonomy and dissent. Rejecting male authority was seen as a direct invitation for death to enter the community. By linking autonomy with the destruction of the innocent, the legend functioned as a tool to maintain the established social order through fear. In the modern era, Lilith's name survives in art and pop culture, but the terror once attached to her has largely faded. Today, modern society now reevaluates these ancient texts, seeing a woman who was punished for simply refusing to be subservient. The traits that once made her a demon, demanding bodily autonomy and equality, are now viewed as heroic. This forces us to consider a specific question. At what point does a society decide that a woman has become dangerous? History suggests she is labeled a monster when the prevailing order can no longer command or control her. Lilith endures as a cultural mirror. Her transformation from a night demon into an icon of empowerment reveals how our values have shifted, while the myth itself remained constant.